Hey everyone, this is Nick from Mecha Warehouse, and today we're back with weekly update number 74. So let's jump right into it. We'll kick off with week in review. It's where we talk about what's been going on this week, things that are coming up, and I guess first off, we'll be talking about it more during the restocks. Obviously, we got another huge shipment, decent sized shipment anyway. Multiple pallets, five skids. We got another shipment the same day that was probably worth another skid. So we've got 6 pallets worth of stuff, plus a few other stragglers that came in, some paints, things like that. So a lot of stuff coming in. We've been hard at work trying to get it all checked in time for the restock Friday, and I think we're most of the way there. It's Thursday morning right now as I'm shooting this, and we've got about half of the check-in left to do, which we should have plenty of time. But it's been extra interesting with that, just because Orion's been out this week, planned out, not a bad thing, good for him actually. But I won't get into that because I'm not sure how much he wants to share about that kind of stuff. But he's been out, so I've had to kind of fill in some of the gaps. And one, it makes me really appreciate the stuff he does around here when he's around all the check-in. He's kind of the lead person on check-in like 99% of the time right now, and I'm definitely feeling really appreciative of that because I've had to kind of pick up that slack myself, so it's been interesting. It's made for an extra busy week for me. I have a ton of other stuff I could be doing this week, should be doing this week, but that's been consuming a lot of my time and energy. And kind of with that, and probably because of that, I've been feeling a lot of little stressful anxiety kind of things. Just, little things not going quite the way that I would like them to go, and not necessarily things that I can't fix pretty easily, but because I've been so busy, it just compounds those things. I don't know if you've ever had those kind of moments, but when you're in a rush and you need to get things done fast, and one thing turns into 3 other things because, for example, my to-do list app one day decided to stop syncing between my phone and my computer. It's a minor inconvenience in the grand scheme of things, but when you got to troubleshoot that thing while you're trying to slam through a million other things, kind of a pain in the butt. And I guess the one other thing that I will talk about is we did put up orders last week, Thursday or Friday, for the 2022 Discord Challenge coin. The pre-order period is closed. It's a Discord only thing. So if you're not a member of the Discord currently, you might want to consider that. Discord is for customers only. So if you've ever made a purchase with us, you just send an email over to support@mechawarehouse.com, or you might find in your email where we sent you the invite already. A lot of great stuff going on over there. We do our dings and dents lotteries, so boxes that come in with minor damage we sell on there via a lottery. We've got the Discord challenge coins, and just a lot of other really good stuff going on over there all the time. Kind of too much to mention in a brief piece in the video here. We did order more of those coins than have been purchased so far, so they will become available for purchase, but only for Discord members. So if you missed the window to pre-order and request a coin number, you'll still have an opportunity to grab one just without the coin number request. And we'll be putting, once we get the initial block invoiced, we will post up the additional coins or how to request one and get in on that. With that said, though, let's move on to pre-orders and then ultimately restocks. So pre-orders this week, we added, I don't know, maybe like a dozen pre-orders, a little bit less. We got the G-Frame FA02 set, both individuals and assorted. So this is G-Frame Aegis, Rick Diaz, both char, or really quattro colors, and the black color, and Sotheby. Those are kind of exciting. There's a new Hexagear Sieg Springer Queen's Vanguard version. It looks almost like a horse or something. It's kind of interesting. A few Love kits, F-22A Raptor EMD Phase 2, F-15 Active Eagle, and the Shiranui Second Yuya Bridges Key version 1.5. We also added some more MSG stuff, so model support goods. These are like the parts and accessories that Kotobukiya offers. MSG grave arms, propellant tank square type, and I believe weapons unit for multi-missile. Some good stuff there for pre-orders. We got even more good stuff coming next week, I think, so keep an eye out for that. Now let's move on to restocks. So as I said, we're still in the middle of checking in a ton of stuff. So there's this huge pile of chaos behind me. A lot of stuff still boxed. We don't have everything out. We definitely don't have it in a state where I could either show it here or walk around the warehouse. So instead, I'm just going to read off this list and hope that we either have footage or images for some of these. If not, you'll have to use your imagination. Some of these we're still not getting the amount we want of things. A lot of it's because we placed these orders a long time ago and they're finally showing up now. We're now placing much larger orders for a lot of these items. So I'll try to point out the things that you want to jump on really fast. But a lot of these, the majority of them, you probably don't want to wait super long on because they probably won't stay in stock super long. All right, so the 30-minute missions exit vehicle small mass production machine. It's like a little like shorter walker kind of thing. Pretty cool looking design. Kind of okay numbers on those. We sold out the pre-orders though. That's a new release, so I probably wouldn't wait too long on those. RG Ava Unit 3 Enchanted Shield of Virtue set. That one we definitely did not get very many of. The Figurized Standard Common Rider 000 Toba Combo, the Common Rider kit. Got topped off on the HG Zaku 2 234, HGC 234. It's been a fairly popular kit, but one we've been keeping in stock for an extended period of time. Got a small number of MG Ailstrike version RM, as well as the MG High New Gundam Verkop. Both of those will go super fast, I think, so I wouldn't wait too long on those. Got Zaku 1 Sniper Type, HG Giant Gatling. Those are pretty cool. I've used one on a Gustav Karl I built a while back. Plan on painting that build, but it's a really, really cool accessory set. HG 00 number 1 Gundam Exia, HG 00 number 6 Gundam Virtue, HG 00 number 22 00 Gundam, HG Messer. So those Messers, we got an okay number, but they're not going to last probably more than an hour or two, I would guess. So if you want one of those, definitely don't wait. Topped off on the RG Wing Gundam. We've got plenty of those in stock. MG Exia, okay number. They probably won't last super long either. MG Jinx or GNX. Those we got a really good number on. I don't know that they're going to last super long despite that really large number because they've sold super fast in the past. We'll see how that plays out. I wouldn't wait super long, but they're probably not going to sell out in 10 minutes. Action Base 2 Black and Gray and Action Base 1 Clear we got in. We also got the HG Kshatriya, another one we did not get very many. Those will probably sell out like that. So if you want one, pause and go look because they're probably sold out in the first couple minutes of it being up on the site. HG Zogok, not a ton of those. Those will probably go pretty fast. Full Mechanics Gundam Barbatos Lupus Rex. We got an okay number of those. They probably won't last the weekend maybe, but they'll last a few minutes probably. Gundam DK 103, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. I think that's one of the multi-use IBO decals. MG Aegis Gundam, another one that probably won't last super long. Got an okay number, but not a massive number. HG GM Striker, those will go fast. HG Sazabi, HG High New, HG New. All those are relatively limited quantities, but not super popular kits. HG Zaku 2 F2. Those will hopefully last a minute, and then HG Goof Custom, one of the few that we got in really good numbers, I think. They'll still probably go relatively fast, but they might actually last a week or two. I think I actually this one clear. Entry Grade Strike Gundam, so that's a new release that just came in. Pre-orders did okay. We got a good number of them though, so probably not as urgent, but worth jumping on. I think those have been out and about. I haven't heard how good of a kit it is yet. If you built it, let me know. The other entry grades were great, from what I heard. Brady Hound Stork Carrier, both from AIM. Stork Carrier looks interesting, almost like a Osprey or something. The plane with the big propellers, I think. Figurized Standard Amplified Beelzemon, so another Digimon kit. We got Windblade from Flame Toys. That's another Transformers kit. I think between pre-orders and what was damaged, there were not a ton left though on the shelf. So if you want one and you didn't pre-order, I would grab it quick. We also got the M-Aim Ghost. Small numbers on that; those will go really fast. And paint last. We got G-Frame. I believe it's volume 10. Assortments, it's Ale Strike, Gundam Mark II, Zaku 2, Johnny Ridden Custom, and Zaku 2 Commander Type, as well as the assortment, which includes all 4 plus 1 duplicate, and then the Gundam Breaker Battle Log, Gundam Astray Red Frame Inversion we got topped off on as well. We've had those in stock. We got a few more in stock. And then finally we got a restock on Splash Paint. If you haven't been checking out, we've been doing on the live streams. Splash gave us some of their Ava colors to give away. It's one of their newer paint lines. It's got great colors for the Evangelion series. We've been giving away those paints on our live streams with a Haro Control Blue or something. So you got something to try it out on. Those are they're supposed to be really good paints. They're lacquer paints, pretty much airbrush ready out of the bottle. They don't even sell a thinner as far as I know. They're pre-thinned. You should be able to just put it in your airbrush and go. Maybe not the best thing if you don't have proper PPE, but a good line of paints from right here, and we are fully restocked, I believe, at this point. So that's it for restocks this week. Ton of stuff. I think it's going to be a crazy weekend. Some of these items are going to go really fast. Some might last a little longer. Some will hopefully last an extended period of time. But if there's something you really want on there, as you probably know by now, it's a good idea to jump on those rather than wait too long. And so that's it for restocks. Let's move on to Q&A. Got a ton of questions this week. If you have a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it next week. And let's jump into this so we can get hopefully through all of these. So first up, Trainin' Saiyan 67 Gaming. Just about to finish the Battlelog set as I just started building after the new year. What would you recommend for my first MG build? Looking to go a little bigger. There's so many good master grades. I don't know that I've really built a master grade that I didn't like or that wasn't good. Some are obviously better than others. I've heard good things about the master grade Dynamos. We have that in stock. I feel like I've been pushing that a lot because we've got a lot of them in stock. But that's supposed to be a really solid build. Any of those master grades I mentioned in the restock today, I believe, are at least halfway decent builds from what I've heard or what I've experienced. I like the Gundam Wing master grades. I think we have the master grade Sandrock in stock right now. That's a really nice build too if you're into Gundam Wing. But really almost any master grade is a pretty good one. There's a few that are maybe more complex. I'd probably stay away from a Verkov for your first master grade unless you're feeling particularly up for a challenge, I guess. Thanks for the question. That was a good question. Next one is from RDDN. Question: you have to start selling something non-model kit related. What would it be? That's a great question. I've definitely thought about this one before. I think the one thing I'd probably do would be some sort of martial arts related stuff because that's one of the other big passions in my life. I've thought about and might still execute at some point in my life creating my own brand of, like jujitsu gear, rash guards and spats and gis and that kind of stuff, manufacturing that stuff or private labeling it or something. Not something I'm planning on doing right now because I'm more than occupied fully by this execution here, but that's something I've thought about. Great question already. MJRL Hobby Stuff. Question: did you see the Batman? No. And since the kits are coming out, what's your favorite Bat mobile design? Adam West 89, Tumbler, or New Muscle Car, or some other variant? This is a great question. So I haven't seen the Batman yet. I'll probably wait for it to come out in video, mostly because I just don't have time to go to the theater these days. But, I'm interested in seeing it. It's just not something I'm urgently needing to watch. As far as favorite Batmobile design, I'd probably have to say the Tumbler, and only because I think the Christian Bale Batman movies are my favorite ones. Specifically, Batman Begins. It felt like it was very like plausible. I feel like some of the Batman series seem a little bit more out there, or movies seem a little more out there, and that just seemed like, oh, like if I was a millionaire, I could probably go be Batman too, and maybe I will be. Okay, moving on. Next question. Brian Demore, a question for next week. How do you store, organize your extra parts like hands, heads, extra armor bits, etc.? Follow-up question, what kind of task lighting do you have at your workbench for building your kits? Great question. I tried to shoot a little bit of footage at home last night to have some to kind of show you. So for extra parts, I've got a storage organizer with a bunch of little drawers, and I'm using that to kind of separate things like hands and heads and etc., weapons, things like that. Trying for the most part to organize by, scale and part type for the most part. There are so many things that it's almost impossible to fully separate everything that needs to be separated, but it works okay. I haven't had to go into it that much yet, but hopefully it'll be there when I need it. As far as task lighting, I've got essentially 3 different workbenches I use. Each one has its own set of lights, although 2 of them are basically the same light setup. So when I stream, I've got, I forget the name of the brand. I'll look it up and we'll put it down in the description below or something. The first one, I've got a light. It's like a flexible light that sits over my desk. It's got 2 arms. Each one can be set, I think, at 4 different brightness levels, and it works pretty well for when I stream. I've also got another one, I forget the brand name again for this one too. I'll also put it down in the link below. On my workbench in the attic, in our hobby room or content room, whatever you want to call it, depending on if you're my accountant or somebody else. But in that room there, I have a desk-mounted light, similar kind of thing. It comes up. It's got a big light bar. It seems to work pretty well. It's got brightness as well as color warmth settings, and I've used one of those for I have a regular workbench, kind of like the bench I film at, as well as one for my airbrushing setup, and I've been mostly happy with those. We've got a bunch of them now because my wife and son have a similar setup in their spaces for their building, and it works pretty well. Great question. Okay, next one is from Plastic Germs. Any plans on a paid Mecha Warehouse Club or a premium membership where a such member would get a better discount items or get monthly exclusives? This is a great question. And so I don't have any plans in the short term. I've thought about this before. At one point, I thought about doing like some sort of sticker club or merch club that you'd get maybe a special Mecha Warehouse branded thing every month and, a discount or something like that. I've thought about some sort of private warehouse membership where you can place your orders and get them stowed away to get shipped, a couple times a year at a reduced cost to you, or maybe built into the membership. All that said, I don't really have any plans to execute on that anytime soon. I don't know if I can provide enough value to feel like it's worth it yet until I have a little bit more time on my hands and maybe a little bit more space. So maybe in the future, not in the immediate future. And then fun question, is there an employee discount for being part of the Mecha Warehouse crew? There is. It's a very good discount. Okay, next one, Nike629 question. When you guys do eventually move to a bigger place, how would you go about handling logistics of moving everything? It's a great question. The answer to that question depends on where we move to. There's two immediate options. I'm hoping to either knock some holes in the wall over there and take over the unit next door, in which case the move logistics are nearly nothing. It's just setting up the new space and maybe moving some stuff over and reorganizing a little bit. If the second option is maybe taking another space in the plaza, might be another unit in the same building or a unit in the building that's in front of us. If I were doing that, we would probably do it in several phases. First phase would be setting up new shelves and organizational stuff over there, and then moving half our stuff over, or at least some of our stuff over, and then breaking down stuff here and moving it over, and we just kind of do that in 2 or more phases. If we were moving to another building in town or out of town, like that's such a huge undertaking, it would really require a lot of detailed planning. When we moved here, there was a lot of, we did a sale ahead of time to reduce how much stuff we had to move. We took stuff off the website gradually so we could pack it up and have it ready to go, etc. There's so much involved that it's not really something I can just say until I know the specifics of what the move looks like. Hopefully that answers your question, or at least for now. Great question, though. Next one, Galactic Emperor. Question: once you guys expand, what will be the next big leap for Mecha Warehouse? So, I guess first off, if I really tell you, I'll have to kill you because it's a secret, and I can't share the big plans I have yet because I want to make sure that they're a good surprise when they come out. So, for the really big thing I want to do, the other thing will hopefully, once we've expanded, a full-time buyer might be in the cards. I think we need to consolidate a few things first. And yeah, I got this big idea. I think it's a good one, but I need more time to flesh it out and make sure everything's ready before I announce it. And more resources. Okay, next one, Shizu-san. Hey there, Nick. Not so much a question as maybe a suggestion. Would it be more efficient to have 2 packers and 1 runner? The packers pack and the runner picks out the orders and hands them off to the packers. I'm at the 5-suit team. Strike Freedom and Sosby for air superiority, heavy arms, EW, and Camphor for ground attack. Last example for artillery support. Speaking of which, I would love an MG XAML release. What do you think? Which one's the XAML? Ah, yes. Oh, that'd be cool. XAML would be cool to have in a kit form. Beefy. Okay. As for the first part of the question, so maybe the problem is that until we have the opportunity to actually try it, I don't know if 1 picker can keep up with 2 packers. Oftentimes, when we've got an experienced picker, they can often pick enough to keep the packing station going, and then maybe do some check-in or some other stuff along the way, depending on what they're picking that day. There's so many variables involved that it's not something that I can just say, like, yeah, it might be on certain days when the packing is harder but picking is easy. 1 picker might be able to keep 2 stations going, and there might be days where a picker can barely keep up with the packer when it's easy to pack but hard to pick, like decals, for example. In the short term, though, I can't set up 2 packing stations in the space we have, so it doesn't really matter until we move anyway. Good question, though, or good comment, I guess. And then I think we've got one more question. There's a lot of them. Bing Crosby. So what kind of cookies were finished baking at 4:09 of the video? PB, chocolate chip, snickerdoodles. That, I think that was probably Santana's alarm for posting social media stuff or something else, right? Oh, no, that's not, no, 4:09, that was my Shopify sale notification. Never mind. So those were money cookies. That's what those were. That was my app deciding to ping me to say that someone made a purchase on the website, I think. All right, that's all we got for questions. If you have a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.